As we all know, yesterday, Vlad Guerrero Jr. had his Major League debut, and it got me thinking about some of the best father-son duos in Major League Baseball history. Now, Vlad Jr. and his dad, Vlad Guerrero Sr., don't fall on this list because he just hasn't played enough time, but I'm sure when all things are said and done, he'll be on it. But in today's video, we're going to be going over the 10 best father-son duos in Major League Baseball history. While doing my research, I found out there was a ton of father-son duos that have played in Major League Baseball. A lot of them, though, have either really good fathers and mediocre sons, or vice versa. Now, for my list, I took kind of the best of both worlds. Both players need to have some sort of impact. I'm not looking for Tony Gwynn and his son, where Tony Gwynn, Hall of Famer, great player, his son played like 4 or 5 years. I'm looking for guys who have some legitimate stats. There are a ton of current Major League players who are sons of former Major Leaguers, so if you want to see me do a video on those guys, make sure to leave a like on this. It's the best way to show your support. Subscribe if you're new and you enjoy the content. We cover baseball on this channel every single day, so if you love baseball, this is the place to be. You don't want to miss out. Get in the comment section below. Do you agree? Do you disagree with me? Is there anybody I left off? Let me know your thoughts and opinions. And go follow me on Twitter and Instagram, at GiraffeNeckMarc. Links in the description. I talk about baseball on there all the time. It's a good place to keep in touch. So coming in at number 10, we're going to have the pitcher father-son duo of Dizzy Trout and Steve Trout. No relation to Mike, otherwise they probably would have been higher. As I stated earlier, Dizzy Trout and Steve Trout, both pitchers, pitching in 822 games, 4,200 innings pitched, and combining for 1,900 strikeouts. The father, Dizzy, was the better of the two players, pitching from 1939 to 1957. Over his 15-year career, he had a 170 and 161 record, a 3.23 ERA, and a whip of 1.353. Struck out about 1,200 batters, pitched in 2,700 innings. His best season came in 1944, where he finished second in the MVP voting, made the All-Star team, and had a league best ERA of 2.12, with 352 innings pitched, 40 games started, 33 complete games, and 7 shutouts. His son, Steve, while never making an All-Star appearance, still had a decent career, pitching 12 years in the majors, a record of 88 and 92, career ERA of 4.18, and whip of 1.494. He pitched 1,500 innings, striking out 656 batters. For number 10 on this list, I think it's kind of the right spot for them. They're not very good, but they're not bad either. They're definitely one of the better ones in MLB history. Coming in at number 9, we have Jose Cruz and Jose Cruz Jr. The Jose Cruzes combined for 3,700 games played, 3,400 hits, 369 home runs, 643 doubles, 1,700 RBIs, and 430 stolen bases. The father, Jose Cruz, played from 1970 to 1988 with the Cardinals, Astros, and then finished off with the Yankees. In 2,300 games, he had 2,200 hits, he had 165 home runs, just under 1,100 RBIs, little under 400 doubles, and he was a career 284 hitter with a 354 on base, 420 slugging, and a 774 OPS. He made 2 All-Star teams as well as won 2 Silver Sluggers, finishing as high as 3rd in the MVP voting in 1980. His son, Jose Cruz Jr. got off to a hot start in his career, finishing 2nd in the Rookie of the Year voting in 1997, and he had some great seasons in the early 2000s with the Toronto Blue Jays. For his career, he played just under 1,400 games, had 1,167 hits, 252 doubles, 204 home runs, 624 RBIs, and he stole 113 bases. Career average was 247, on base 337, slugging 445, and OPS of 783. The Cruzes definitely had great careers, and when you put their numbers together as a father-son duo, it was pretty solid. Definitely better than the Trouts, but number 9 is the right spot for them in my opinion. Coming in at number 8 is actually a family of baseball players. You got Gus Bell, Buddy Bell, David Bell, and Mike Bell, but the father-son duo we're talking about is Buddy and David. The Bells combined for 3,800 games, 3,700 hits, 324 home runs, 692 doubles, and just under 1,700 RBIs. Buddy Bell was definitely the better of the duo, playing in over 2,400 games, just over 2,500 hits, 425 doubles, 201 home runs, 1,100 RBIs. Career lifetime batting average of 279, on base of 341, slugging 406, and an OPS of 747. Buddy Bell made 5 All-Star teams, winning 6 Gold Gloves as well as a Silver Slugger. While David Bell never made an All-Star team or won a Silver Slugger or Gold Glove, he still had an average career. In just over 1,400 games, David Bell had 1,200 hits, 123 home runs, just under 600 RBIs, and 267 doubles. He was a career 257 hitter with a 320 on base, 396 slugging, and a 716 OPS. But when you combine the two together, a pretty solid father-son duo, putting them at number 8. Coming in at number 7 is another family of baseball players. We've got Ray Boone, Bob Boone, Aaron Boone, and Bret Boone, but for this father-son duo, we're talking about Bob Boone and Bret Boone. The Boones combined for around 4,000 games, 3,600 hits, 357 home runs, 669 doubles, nice, 1,800 RBIs, 11 Gold Gloves, and 7 All-Star appearances. Father Bob Boone played from 72 to 90 and was known more as a defensive catcher, never hitting more than 12 home runs in a season. He played around 2,200 games, had 1,800 hits, 105 home runs, drove in 826 runs, and had 303 doubles. He was a career 254 hitter with a 315 on base, 346 slugging, and a 661 OPS. Bret Boone entered the league 2 years after his father retired in 1992 and played until 2005. In just under 1,800 games, Bret Boone had 1,775 hits, 366 doubles, 252 homers, just over 1,000 RBIs. He had a career average of 266 with an on-base of 325, slugging 442, and OPS 767. He made 3 All-Star teams, won 4 Gold Gloves, and 2 Silver Sluggers, and his best year came in 2001 where he finished 3rd in the MVP voting. The Boones were definitely a talented bunch, and if you included their entire family, they're probably a little higher on this list, but because we're going father-son duo, they find themselves at number 7. Number 6 on this list is going to be Sandy Alomar and Roberto Alomar. Yes, I know Sandy Alomar Jr. was a player, but wasn't much of one. Between the Alomar father-son duo, they played 3,860 games, they had just under 3,900 hits, they scored 2,000 runs, 600 doubles, and stole 700 bases. Father Sandy Alomar wasn't much of a hitter, career lifetime batting average of 245 with an on-base of 290, slugging of 288, and an OPS of 578. He was a guy who played at second and short for defense. Now here's why they get higher up on this list at number 6. That's because of his son Roberto Alomar, one of the best second basemen of all time, Hall of Famer, 12-time All-Star, 10-time Gold Glover, 2-time World Series champion, and a 4-time Silver Slugger. He finished his career with 2,700 hits, 210 home runs, 500 doubles, 80 triples, and a little over 1,100 RBIs, stealing 474 bases. Career averages were 300 for batting average, 371 on base, 443 slugging, and an 814 OPS. Roberto Alomar's a Hall of Famer, and he's the reason why the Alomars get boosted up on this list. You have a Hall of Fame son, and you were an MLB player who played for a decent amount of time, wasn't great, but he had the longevity. You're gonna get there on number 6 on my list. Starting off the top 5 on this list, I got 2 players that are considerably underrated, I believe, for their career. We're talking about Mel and Todd Stottlemyre. Between the two, they pitched in 732 games, around 4,800 innings. They had 302 combined wins and 2,800 strikeouts. Mel Stottlemyre played from 64 until 74, all with the New York Yankees. In 360 games pitched, Mel Stottlemyre won 164, losing 139, and pitched over 2,600 innings. He had a career ERA of 2.97 and a whip of 1.129, and over his time he struck out just over 1,200 batters. His son Todd Stottlemyre started in 1988 and pitched until 2002. In 14 seasons, he made 372 appearances with a record of 138 and 121, career ERA of 4.28 with a whip of 1.376, pitched in just under 2,200 innings, striking out just under 1,600 batters. You could arguably switch them with the Alomars, but I think at number 5, the Stottlemyres are the best father-son duo to pitch in Major League Baseball history. I'm sure you could go back in the day and go to the 1900s, but I don't really care about those guys because they were the only pitchers then. So Stottlemyres at number 5, I think is a good spot for them. Coming in at number 4 on this list is going to be a power hitting duo. We're talking about Cecil Fielder and Prince Fielder. In just under 3,100 games played, the Fielders had 2,958 hits, 521 doubles, 638 home runs, 2,036 RBIs, 1,500 walks, combined for 9 All-Star appearances and 5 Silver Sluggers. In 13 seasons, he played in just under 1,500 games. He had 1,300 hits, 200 doubles, 319 home runs, and just over 1,000 RBIs. Career batting average of 255, on base of 345, slugging 482, and an OPS of 827. He finished second in the MVP voting in back-to-back years in 90 and 91, where he hit 51 home runs and 132 RBIs, and then 44 and 133. He was a 3-time All-Star, 2-time Silver Slugger, and won the World Series in 1996. His son Prince had a pretty darn good career as well. In 12 seasons, Fielder played in 1,600 games, getting 1,600 hits. He hit 319 home runs, 321 doubles, and drove in 1,028 RBIs. Prince finished with a career batting average of 283, on base of 382, slugging 506, and an OPS of 887. He was also a 6-time All-Star and a 3-time Silver Slugger. The Fielders could swing the bat, and honestly, if Prince played longer, this father-son duo could find themselves higher up on this list. But when you see the 3 duos ahead of them, you go, yeah, they're definitely better. But at 4, still pretty darn good. Coming in at number 3 on this list is going to be a father-son duo that includes Felipe Alou and Moises Alou. The father-son duo combined for 4,000 games, 4,200 hits, almost 2,000 runs scored, 780 doubles, 538 home runs, 2,100 RBIs, 200 stolen bases, and 9 All-Star appearances. Felipe Alou, while better known as a manager, had a great player career as well. In 17 seasons, he played just under 2,100 games with 2,100 hits, 359 doubles, 49 triples, 206 home runs, 852 RBIs, and stole 107 bases. He finished with a career average of 286, on base of 328, slugging of 433, and an OPS of 761, and he had 2 seasons with over 200 hits. His son Moises was quite the player. In 1,900 games, Moises Alou had 2,100 hits, 421 doubles, 39 triples, 332 home runs, and just under 1,300 RBIs with 106 stolen bases. He finished with a career average of 303, on base of 369, slugging of 516, and an OPS of 885. Was a 6-time All-Star, won the 1997 World Series, and a 2-time Silver Slugger. You look at this father-son duo's numbers and you go, wow, impressive. Both had over 2,000 hits in their career. They could swing the bat, the Alus, and that's why they find their way at number 3 on my list. We're down to the final 2, and I think you have a decent idea of who they are. It's just where they're going to finish, 1 or 2. So coming in at number 2 on the best father-son duos is going to be the Griffeys, Ken Griffey Sr. and Ken Griffey Jr. The Griffeys combined to play in 4,768 games, just under 5,000 hits, 2,791 runs, 888 doubles, 782 home runs, just under 2,700 RBIs, and 16 All-Star appearances. While Ken Griffey Sr. didn't have the power that Jr. had, he was still a very solid player, making 3 All-Star teams. In his 19 Major League seasons, he had 2,143 hits, 364 doubles, 77 triples, hit 152 home runs, and drove in 859 runs. He also stole 200 bases. He finished with a career average of 296, on base of 359, slugging of 431, and an OPS of 790, but his numbers don't compare to his sons. Ken Griffey Jr., one of the best players to ever play in baseball, and had he not had so many injuries, he probably would have gone down as the greatest of all time. Griffey won an MVP in 1997, finished in the top 5 in MVP voting 5 times, was a 13-time All-Star, 10-time Gold Glover, 7-time Silver Slugger, and he's in the Baseball Hall of Fame. Over his 22-year Major League career, he finished with 2,781 hits, 524 doubles, 630 home runs, 1,800 RBIs, and stole 184 bases, career batting average of 284, on base of 370, slugging of 538, and an OPS of 907. Yeah, the Griffeys could play. They even got to play together one time and hit a home run in the same game. The Griffeys were definitely a talented father-son duo. Ken Griffey Jr. definitely helped out, but his dad was still good as well. They find themselves at number 2 because number 1... so ridiculous. Coming in at number 1, you probably could have guessed it, we've got Bobby Bonds and Barry Bonds. The Bonds is, I don't know how to pronounce it, but they combined for 4,800 games, 4,800 hits, 903 doubles, just under 3,500 runs scored, 1,094 home runs, 3,000 RBIs, 975 stolen bases, almost 3,500 walks, 17 All-Star appearances, and 11 Gold Gloves. Bobby Bonds was responsible for 3 of those All-Star appearances, 3 Gold Gloves. In his 14 seasons in the major leagues, Bobby Bonds had 1,886 hits, 302 doubles, 66 triples, 332 home runs, 1,024 RBIs, and stole 461 bases. Finished with a career average of 268, on base of 353, slugging of 471, and an OPS of 824. But then you have his son, who's the best baseball player of all time, Barry Bonds. Barry Bonds won 7 MVPs, made 14 All-Star teams, 8 Gold Gloves, 12 Silver Sluggers, was a batting champ twice. In his 22 Major League seasons, Barry Bonds finished with 2,935 hits, 601 doubles, 77 triples, an MLB best 762 home runs. He had 1,996 RBIs, stole 514 bases, a Major League best 2,558 walks, as well as 688 intentional, finished with a career average of 298, on base of 444, slugging of 607, and a career OPS above 1,000 at 1.051. Barry Bonds is the GOAT. I know that's going to wind some people up, but he's the best player of all time. Combine that with his dad, who is a very solid player as well, they're without a doubt the number 1 best father-son duo in Major League Baseball history. So those are the 10 best father-son duos in Major League Baseball history. Maybe someday Vlad Jr. and his dad make it on here. If he lives up to the hype, they for sure will. I'd love to know if you guys agree, disagree with me, all your thoughts and opinions on this list down in the comment section below. If you want to see me do a video about current Major League players who are sons of former players, make sure to leave a like on this video, especially to show your support. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and you enjoy the content. You gotta sub if you want to see baseball stuff every day. It's fire. Remember to follow me on Instagram and Twitter at GiraffeNeckMarc, links in the description. And that's gonna wrap up today's video. YouTube recommends you watch this video right here. I'm telling you, it's a good one. You're gonna want to see it, as well as this is my most recent upload. So if you haven't seen any of those, click through them. Thank you guys for your amazing support recently on the channel. Continue to keep it up, and I'll see you tomorrow for another video. Bye.